like to get to know you, but it's been a while. They say I'm crazy, but it's just my style. What am I supposed to do? Sing a song for you. Every day and every night, I wonder what you're thinking. If you're feeling alright, what am I supposed to do? Sing a song for you. I'd like to get to know your mama. Tell me, yeah. Well, don't you know I love you? I got me feeling so great. What am I supposed to do? Sing a song for you. It's hard to keep from thinking when we've been estranged. Oh, don't you know I love you? I've got me feeling so strange. What am I supposed to do? Sing a song for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast, the live stream edition. Thank you. The podcast, and you guys notice that I'm casual tonight. Eric will never put on like a shirt with a with a damn collar, so I dress down to accommodate my guest. The podcast is your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door, talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I am your host, Scott, and I am sad, terribly sad, mortally wounded to say that Belle is not going to be joining us tonight. It's the only reason I got Eric on, man, because I've been talking to Bella for a long time. I was like, I'm going to get him on and just absolutely just hammer him. And Belle said, no, you can't do that. You can't do so. But she couldn't be here tonight, so Eric is. We'll pull him up on screen. Say hi, Eric. I love your green screen.
What's up, Scott? Thanks for having me on, bro.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time tonight, man. Here at the podcast, guys, we have a tendency to talk about what others are not talking about and bringing the focus onto use case cryptos because, as we know, these are what drive the market and bring innovation to a world that desperately needs it. The status quo, it's no longer acceptable. It's time for a technological revolution. Welcome to crypto and welcome back to the podcast. So, you know, it's pretty clear that the channel has been on a slide lately. I refuse to capitulate. I'm just not going to do it, man. I'm not going to come up here and just say, you need to buy this because it's going to go up. I'm not going to do it, man. We are all about context here on the podcast, and I'm not going to change. Honestly, man, I will continue to do this to an empty room. I have no problem with it as long as I believe in the authenticity of the information that I'm putting out, and in this case, I absolutely do. Now, the few of you who are joining us tonight, you guys are in for a treat. You don't know it, but you guys are in for an absolute treat because tonight, between both myself and I brought Eric on for credibility because you guys know Eric. Eric works in blockchain. He works for Archway. He works for all these things. And he's going to come on here and basically validate the things that I've been saying. Now, we're not just going to sit here and bitch. We're going to give you guys some alpha that you will absolutely not find on any other crypto channel. And the reason that we're going to be doing this is because you need to know it. That's the thing. You need to know it. Now, for a lot of people, man, crypto is just fun. All right, you throw $100 in. Oh my God, I'm down to $20. You can tell a story. I lost so much money in crypto. You can do all of these things. Or you can buckle down, figure out what all of this stuff is about, and be profitable on it. Now, the profitable part, that's the tough part. I'm leaning on the desk. Belle's not here. She's not. Right now, she'd be yelling, straighten up. She does that all the time. She says, straighten up. I have to be like this. I'm not going to be like that tonight. I'm going to lean over the desk if I want to lean over the desk. As a crypto investor, and particularly in the cosmos, you need to be aware of what you are doing and, more importantly, who you are working against. Now, for the most part, and this is more or less true, man, this is Nash equilibrium kind of thing. We've talked about this. We'll continue to talk about it, and I'll continue to just drive that nail in until it gets till it's set home. That Nash equilibrium is not theoretical, man. It is absolute fact, and it is absolute fact in crypto. You are not working with other people out here. When you are mercenary capital, and that's typically what most people are in crypto, you are mercenary capital. I can prove this over and over and over. It is absolute goddamn fact that I can, and I'm happy to show you if you want to see it. But we thought we'd go a different way, and we'd just bring Eric on, and he's going to validate everything that I'm saying here, that we are all working against each other. The problem with the DeFi, and there's a big goddamn problem in the DeFi, a huge, massive, whopping problem in the DeFi. But the problem with the DeFi is that as an investor, you are not only working against every other investor out here, you are working against the bulk of the devs that are out here as well. You have to understand something about most of these big chains. These are not bootstrapped, all right? These are not, I have a dream kind of things, and I'm going to pour all my money in to build something that I think is going to work. That's not how it works, all right? The DeFi might as well be called the VC-Fi. because the people who are building these things are not doing it with their own money. They're doing it with other people's money. And when you are spending other people's money, you have one hell of a bad habit of spending it stupidly, of trying to figure out how to maximize whatever the hell it is that you want to maximize so that you, as the developer, get paid. And we don't really particularly care about the investors. This is the cosmos. All of your influencers, I love that too, by the way, all of your influencers have either strapped on to these chains and are getting paid to put out whatever content that they're putting out, or they're strapping onto multiple chains to put out whatever content that they're being told to put out. They will do it because they get paid to do it. Not because they believe it, not because it's true, but because they get paid to do it. There are so many layers of I was about to say scam, Eric. Should I say scam? Should I just let it all loose?
Bro,
I can see
what's
you
on your
laughing.
heart, Scott.
I can hear you laughing already, man. There are so many layers of people who are trying to extract value from you. The whole reason that we started the podcast, that we put this out, is so that I can show you how I am extracting value from them. That's what it's about. And that's what you need to wrap your head around. Crypto as a whole, and we're talking 15,000 plus different cryptos, have effectively no use to themselves whatsoever. They are designed to be bought. They are designed to be bought and sold. Or, even better, Bitcoin, they're designed to act as a currency. They're designed to act as a very single purpose that they cannot exclusively do because anything else that exists out here can do the exact same thing. One of them has brand recognition, one of them doesn't. I'm about to blow Eric right out of the water with my very first question. You guys are going to have a great time with this. You know my viewpoint on all of this stuff. You know where I stand on all of this stuff. I want to get somebody who works in the space to admit that, yep, that's just about right. That's all I'm looking for on this stuff. These are muddy waters, man. We have had nothing but good news that has been coming out about crypto. Nothing but good news. Over and over. A trifecta of pure, gushing, orgasmic sentiment has hit the crypto world. And yet we've done dick. Why is that? Why is that? And that is really, really one of the good questions that we're going to be answering tonight. That's what we're going to be answering tonight. I brought on a guest because I want some validity in this. I'm right. I'm 100% right. But we just thought we'd share it with you. We're going to be discussing several different things tonight. This is going to be fun, guys. I promise you this is going to be fun. I'm going to tell Eric why Archway is going to fail. I'm going to be just absolutely blasting him on this stuff. I'm going to be going on and on and on about how I'm about to farm his decks, Astrovault, his very decks. The thing that he built, blood, sweat, tears, anger, night sweats, all of that stuff. And I'm about to tell him how I'm going to farm it flat as soon as it goes up. We're going to talk about that. But before we get to that, we're going to talk to you guys about all the ways that he and I and several other people that I know are aggressively arbitraging every other DEX. And when I say arbitrage, what I mean is I'm farming them and turning them into cash. I am purely extracting value out of them because I do not see the long-term sustainability of any of them. They created the conditions. I'm taking advantage of it. That's all it is. So we're going to talk about a couple of these in very, very specifics about what I'm doing, what Eric would do, and why it works. That's what we're going to do. It's going to be a really, really good time. So normally I'm going to do a live read. I'm not going to do it tonight. I know a couple of you guys have been enjoying my live reads. I've been having a ball with them. But before we really get into it, we're going to take 60 seconds. I'm going to give the frame to Eric. I have to talk to him for about 60 seconds before we go on. So, guys, please stick around. This, I assure you, is going to be the alpha that you will not get from any other crypto channel in existence. But you guys are going to get it here tonight. You're worth it, man. You're family. Let's talk about it. So if you could, guys, give us 60 seconds. We're going to be right back with Eric, and we're just going to start taking stuff apart. It's going to be a hoot. Cheers. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. All right. We're going big frame. Eric's got a big-ass green wall. He's on the frame. Are you frozen, dude?
Always.
Okay, because I see that your video is completely frozen up right now. It's not you, man. I'm sure it's my app, but that's a perfect frame to freeze it on.
Oh,
So
man.
tell everybody, it's either your camera or my app, dude. I don't believe it. By the way, guys, we are hosting tonight on Amuse. If you haven't heard of it, it's actually a pretty cool frame. We got a perfect freeze frame. I don't believe it's the app, dude. Say something. Let me know that you're still alive.
Can you hear me? I hear you.
I hear you just fine, man, and the audience does as well. But the video seems to have frozen up. It's a great
Turn the
app,
camera
man.
off and back again. See if that
Turn
does
the
something.
camera off and on again, dude. We'll see if we can break you loose. But that's okay. I'm still going to put you up on the big frame. I see that you're looking at another monitor. I'm putting you on full frame. It's just you, man. Tell everybody about yourself. It's a good time.
What's up, guys? Eric Weissman, tokenomics lead for Phi Labs, co-founder of AstroVault, which is launching tomorrow. Premier DEX and early primary application on the Archway blockchain. Do a lot of tokenomics consulting, a lot of background in economic philosophy, trying to bring business into the science fair that has been crypto for the last couple of years.
Man, you know, that's actually a real good way to put it is simply science fair. Dude, I've been on a tirade for these last several months, absolutely just blasting crypto as a whole, because I do my research, I spread it out. And the big thing is that I understand business. And when I mean understand business, a business has to earn revenue that is not speculative. All right. If not, man, they're lottery tickets. If you don't actually have a product that people will pay to use, then you're really not a business, man. You are a scratch off. That's what you are. You're a lottery ticket. And the bulk of all crypto seems to be right now simply a lottery ticket. So it's funny that you would actually go that way. Hey, what do we say it? I've turned my camera off and on again 3 times, I swear. All right. No, it's the app, dude. I'm not going to reset it. I don't want to leave it, man. We're just going to pretend that you're not there. Maybe it'll fix it, or Bell. I'm sorry, Bell's not on. I can't ping my dev right now and ask him why my video froze up. But I'll tell you what, it's a great app. Aside from that, Eric, are you enjoying the app?
It sounds great. Looks great. I mean, I'm more of a fan of pictures anyways.
Okay, well, we got a perfect frame for you right there, dude. This is disappointing, man. I have to use this thing, though. We're actually in open beta. In closed beta, and if anybody would like to help us test the app, Bella at ThePodocasts.com. We pay for it. Knock yourselves out. It'll be a real good time. All right, so Eric, tell me right now, man, in your big frame, even though you're not moving your big frame right now, dude, tell me, why do you love Bitcoin so much? Because I don't.
Oh, Bitcoin is absolutely the future of digital religion. And
okay, tell me why, dude. Tell me why.
Just seeing all the Bitcoin maxis, it's the same kind of cult as Terra. And I mean, the fundamentals are better, but not better enough. It's a bunch of developers who are idealistic, people who are so hurt by the broken fiat system that they'll latch on to anything that's different. And they just assume that because it's different, it's better. And there are some better attributes of it, but it doesn't make sense as a global
There
currency.
are no good fucking attributes of it, dude. There are none. Look, you and I are never going to see eye to eye on this. All right? They're not. Bitcoin doesn't do anything that any other crypto in existence can't do. Period.
That's true.
If you're going to come back and say it's a currency, fine. It's a goddamn currency. Now, what out here is not a currency? It's literally in the name, dude, cryptocurrency. And there are 15,000 of them right now. You know why people are about to get absolutely ravaged on this? Do you know why they are? You understand that everybody's holding their breath waiting for the ETFs, right? I know you keep up. I see you on Twitter. And you know everybody's working on the ETFs. We can't wait. BlackRock and Citadel and everybody's working on the goddamn ETFs. Now, I want to ask you this because I have a different opinion. What's going to happen when they get passed? I absolutely believe that they're going to get passed. Tell me what's going to happen. And you know what? We're recording this, so you're on record. What's going to happen when the ETFs pass?
Bitcoin's going to pump like crazy. Altcoins are going to suffer. Then altcoins are going to pump like crazy while Bitcoin slowly declines. The same cycle we've seen.
Over and over and over. because people seem to be holding their breath waiting for these goddamn Bitcoin ETFs, but they have to assume, they're basing all of this on a really, really dangerous assumption that the money that is pouring in here is simply going to be ignorant money. You don't accidentally become a billionaire. All right, that wasn't, oh my God, look at that. I woke up and I had $1 billion damn dollars. You don't accidentally become a billionaire. You understand things like time value of money. You know what the Nash equilibrium is. You know what psychic money is. You know what all of these things are. You didn't accidentally become a damn billionaire, and you are not ever going to become somebody's exit liquidity. Now, I see this right now as a whole shitload, a massive amount of Bitcoin snipers that are just waiting for all of this blind, stupid ETF money to pour in so that they can dump their positions. That's what I see. That's what's happening. If not, how do you explain the CPI continuing to go down to the point where I believe we're going to be into a deflationary state, which is wildly, arguably worse than any inflationary state? But we went too hard, too long, too fast, and we're going to slip into a deflationary state. But the CPI is at 3%. XRP got a favorable ruling. It goes on and on and on about market sentiment, but Bitcoin didn't even wiggle a goddamn finger. So explain it to me, Eric. What am I missing? Because every damn thing I said up till now has said Bitcoin ain't going to move, and it hasn't. Tell me why I'm so right.
I don't think you're right. I'm not a fan of Bitcoin, but I don't think that you're right.
Okay, why am I not right? I said flat out, Bitcoin ain't moving, and Bitcoin hasn't.
Oh, yeah. I think that come this time next year, it's going to have moved a whole lot. I think the ETF absolutely is going to pump the price like crazy, and that the big money is accumulating right now. It might go back down to, I don't know, 12,000, but it probably won't go lower than that. Either way, it's in an accumulation zone for another 6 to 9 months, and then when the ETF money comes in and you get the residual purchasing the same way you have for the bubble that is the stock market,
Yep.
Then you'll be able to have so much number go up. Just like the float for Bitcoin realistically is really low, and the way it's traded primarily via spot right now makes it like the while it probably shouldn't be money and it shouldn't be something that hyper goes up, it will. And because people have enough faith in that, they're going to treat it like money, and it will do very well. So maybe in 10, 20 years, it won't, and other things will take over. I know you mentioned that, like, oh, cryptocurrencies are in the name. Very few cryptos are meant to be money or currencies, and I'd stay away from all of them except Bitcoin at this point. Maybe Ethereum if you consider it that way. But digital asset is definitely something that's probably, it should be deemed, and just most digital assets suck, and I'm in the business of trying to fix that. But yeah, I think Bitcoin's going to go up, dude.
I think it'll go up. And I'm not sitting here saying it's going to stay absolutely flat. It won't. But people have based everything that's going on in cryptocurrency based on the bubble that we had from 2019 to early 2022. They're basing all of their understanding of crypto based on that very bubble. Now, I'm a fat old investor. All right, I went through the .com, dude. I was there. Through the .com. And what we saw in crypto is no damn different than what we saw with pets.com and every other .com in the world. Did you know that in 2000, the year 2000, do you remember the year 2000, Eric? Be honest, and I know you really don't.
I do.
Yeah, what grade were you in?
Second.
Second grade. In the year 2000, during the Super Bowl, the 2000 Super Bowl, 16 of the 61 ads were purchased by .com companies. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny how it works? And it just parallels so perfectly with, what was it, 2 years ago? When FTX and that dumbass Matt Damon commercial, you remember, you remember that?
I do.
Okay, yeah, it parallels like perfectly with the damn .com startup, which is just happens in any kind of real tech rush. The problem is that after the tech rush is done, now you need the tech. Now you need the products. Now you need the things that are actually built on blockchain, and we have very few of them. We have financial products. That's your MO, dude. That is your MO. That is your world. You and I will never agree on this. We have an extremely large banking system that is designed to support nothing at all because we have no products, no manufacturing, no hard anything assets to support. All we have are different ways of different people trying to gain money out of different levels of investor. I told you this was going to be rough. You agreed to come on. All right, you agreed to come on. So where am I off base here, dude? I know you're a finance guy. I know you're an econ guy. I know you know all of these things. That's why you're such a wonderful guest for me. You know all of these universal fundamental truths. So tell me this. Where am I missing it? And how does this possibly sustain without an excess amount of blind capital pouring into this world?
You're not wrong, and it doesn't sustain without an excess of capital pouring in. Fundamentally, like you mentioned, I have some background in economics, but far more in philosophy. I'm really good at finding the flaws, looking at the big picture, starting with the end in mind, which is what economists and the finance bros completely whiff out on, and they just assume that whatever they're building is good in and of itself. And I'm like, what are you selling?
What are you selling, dude?
Far too many things aren't selling anything, and they're hoping that whatever they build could be sold by somebody else, but realistically, it's just going to be packaged up and made a product by someone else. I put out a tweet the other day saying, like, look, some things with good tokenomics and no product are just vaporware, but things that are good projects with bad tokenomics are a science fair. And I'm going to see those projects like, oh, wow, that's cool. You built something good. I'll give you your ribbon, and I'm going to go make a business out of that, and you're not going to get shit.
Yeah, and that's kind of fun. I actually responded to your tweet, dude. I follow like 4 people. You happen to be one of them. It's because we broadcast together from time to time, so I can certainly follow your tweeter. But yeah, I actually responded to that one, and I think it was simple, man. It was what was it? Apps, not chains. Products, not tools. We got enough tools. But yeah, it's kind of funny, man, because people don't seem to understand that. If you cannot monetize your idea, it's a fucking hobby. All right, that's it. We can argue this back and forth, and you could tell me about how it's going to be so tremendously valuable 70 damn years from now. But as a crypto investor, currently, mercenary capital, don't give a shit about your nifty tool. And it really, I lost my shit utterly about a tweet I saw from Guy over on Secret Network about how crypto YouTube, there's just no value to it. It should only be high-level devs having discussions with other high-level devs. I was like, the fucking arrogance on you, dude. You managed to run your token from $10 to 35 cents, and now you're going to come up here and tell me how I just don't get it? Dude, you bled off 99% of the value of your token. Maybe you got it wrong. I'm just saying, maybe you're not quite seeing it. I know you were deep into Secret, Eric, and I know you're not anymore. Would you like to blast Guy? Go for it, dude. This is the Bitter Truth Show here. Do you got anything fun you want to say about him? I could go all day.
Choose not to go down that rabbit hole, which I definitely could go down, and just say, like, have you heard him talk? Have you heard them talk? Like, you want that to be like what YouTube content is? Like,
I think that's what
I'm not
it
saying
does,
things should be like shill based, but if you want things to be educational, they have to be from somebody that can present something. So like I oh my goodness, if everything was just DevCon on YouTube, like YouTube would die.
You know what? I'm not going to attack his speaking characteristics, his speaking style, man. Look, some of us can talk into the mic, some of us can't. It doesn't mean your ideas are not valid, but your ideas are just shit all wrong. 100% just stupid. And I listen to these dev conferences, man. I'm all about them. All right, speaking of dev conferences, I was knocking something out. You guys know that there's a lot coming up, right? Eric, you're aware of this. The Interchain contributors are coming to Paris, and we, the Podocasts, we got the lineup, the full week of events to go full IBC. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about OsmoCon. Featured by Osmosis Zone, 21 July. And we're expecting some absolutely incredible alpha information that nobody is going to understand, but you better tune in. Modular Summit, Eric, on the 21 and 22 of July. And for those of you not familiar with Modular Summit, expect some really high-level dev discussions with devs, talking to other devs. Super exciting. And Nebula Builders on the 23rd, 24th, and 25th of July. Are you jazzed up for this, dude? Are they just going to pack the house there or what?
I have a couple friends that are in Paris right now. We'll see. I just got back from Berlin, and it was underwhelming, but some conferences do well. ETHCC is always a huge deal. I'll pick and find out about the news and probably not watch any of the conversations about
it. You know what? Then you're doing it wrong, babe. You are absolutely doing it wrong. I'll tell you what, Eric, talk for 60 seconds about anything that you want. I don't have my bell tonight. and it sucks, man, because she'd be just blasting out the comments and all that stuff, but she's not here. Let me look through the comments. I don't want to ignore the audience, dude. We're not going to be those kind of douchebags. So go ahead and talk for 60 seconds about anything you want, and let me look.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about bringing business to blockchain. You're talking about the dot-com bubble. You're absolutely spot on. And what does come from this technology is going to be huge. And I'm hoping I could be a part of it, or at least lead to its creation and, not go broke here. But realistically, yeah, stick to the projects that know what they're selling and focus their energy on how to sell it instead of focusing on just random buzzwords that you assume are goods in and of themselves. Decentralization, is that like based on Nakamoto coefficient, what country they're in, like what kind of hardware? Like there's so many different ways of decentralization, and it's always inefficient. So you have to understand when and where that's important or helpful, how the blockchain's actually being used. Because I've been working with Archway as tokenomics, like trying to explain to people, it's like, congrats, you can build a blockchain that doesn't make money. You have to figure out how to make the blockchain make you money. Building your own layer one, building your chain in and of itself is really expensive. And if it doesn't lead to additional revenue, then you're pursuing a moot point. And I think we've done a really good job with Archway. So I look forward to you trying to break it. And trust me, I know how and if and when it would break. But it's trying to repurpose things towards business.
Oh,
and I'm excited to be taking steps towards that.
And I'm going to break Archway, dude. Well, not me personally, dude. I'm going to farm the shit out of your DEX. I am going to do that. I do have a comment here. I got to swing the mic out, sorry. And this is from Into the Cosmos. We don't duck questions here, all right? Whether they make me look good or make me look bad, we always answer them. But Scott, you always leave out the part where these coins came out when Bitcoin was basically peaking at like 50 to 60K. So when market crashed, of course they got hit hard. I don't get your thinking. Well, let me explain my thinking to you. You have an endless array of tweets and YouTubes and everybody that is just going to go on and on and on, giving you absolutely terrible, terrible advice about how all you have to do is buy, hold, and diamond hand and believe, and everything's going to be okay. Well, that's not the case at all. And even though everybody's bleeding, it doesn't make it better that you're bleeding as well. It doesn't somehow make it rational that you're bleeding as well, that you have pissed away just as much money as everybody else because you believe they're bullshit. Look, crypto is a business or it's a hobby. This is absolutely true. I'm sorry. I hate to be the one to tell you this, but it is. And a business will have multiple levels of revenue that are going to be coming into it, meaning it is not purely a speculative asset. Now, so far, there are very, very few cryptos that are actually pure utilities or pure services. They are, the bulk of them exist simply to be bought and sold. This is an absolute fact. Now, when you pick up on that, you start to realize, holy shit, there is nobody here that has my back. I have to do something about it. So then you end up becoming a farmer, but you end up becoming a hyper-aggressive farmer, meaning you're not there to aid the DEX, to help, to support, to provide liquidity. You're not doing any of those things. You are there to farm as much money out of it to make up for the world of losses that you took because you bought during a bubble. But people seem to think that the bubble will repeat, and it won't. It won't. The ETFs are going to spike Bitcoin. They absolutely were. Eric, you can smile all you want. I am 100% right about this, and I will be justified on this. Bitcoin will absolutely spike. But you have to understand that it's going to take approximately $1 trillion to get Bitcoin to 60K. It is. Because you have to take into account slippage, grindage, and every single goddamn Bitcoin sniper out here that is waiting for that thing to go up 4% so that they can dump it on you. It is a constant fight. You're not just going against people who buy, hold, and believe. You're going against leverage traders, margin traders, every people who buy on options. You're going against all of these people. And when these people are putting $30, $40, and $50 million into a single buy, guess what? 3% is a hell of a good gain. A hell of a good gain. We are all under the belief that everybody's going to buy, hold, and it's simply not going to happen. You're going to be farmed endlessly as you go up. You are providing endless liquidity, exit liquidity as you go up. This is an absolute fact. This is a fact. Yes, I understand that everything across the board is down. But does that make you feel better about losing 95% of your wallet? Does that make you feel better saying, well, shit, everybody else is down, so I guess I'm okay? No. If you are pissed about the wallet being at that point, then you have to do something about it. That's where I come in. That's where Eric comes in. He ain't going to admit it. He ain't going to admit it here. He farms the shit out of DEXs. I farm the hell out of DEXs. I will look for any single little bit of opportunity, and I will extract value from it because I just think the money is better in my hands. Don't like it? Tough. Stop me. So with that, Eric, you got any? You go ahead, man. Pile on. That was a question. There were a whole bunch more guys. Look, please understand, I'm not trying to ignore you. It's just this is what Bell does, and I don't do it. But go ahead, Eric. You can retort.
I mean, I disagree on Bitcoin, but not the overall sentiment. Like, I don't think that there's that many people looking to sell. Just a lot of the biggest whales have been accumulating in these zones, and they're not like they are long-term players. But that being said, for the global market, yeah, and understanding liquidity leverage is absolutely huge because whatever you're tied to, like if you are trading against Bitcoin and Bitcoin goes down, then you're going to go down. And if you don't have the fundamental business modeling that will sustain you, then you're done. But I mean, this isn't just crypto. Like Amazon went down 94% while the business was actually booming and thriving, and all the investors were calling him pissed. And he's like, I don't like. They're not looking at the same thing I'm looking at. The company's scaling and doing great, and sure enough, they came out on the other side like huge. Like that could happen with Crackle.
That was a blowback from the .com, dude. You know it. Look, man, basically every one of these companies that came up were just 100% giving it away. They were giving away products saying that when we hit critical mass of customers, we're going to be moderately, even minorly profitable, but due to the critical mass of customers that we have, we're suddenly going to be successful. All right, that was it. Now, how many companies, aside from Amazon, actually were able to utilize that model? Go ahead. It's all yours, man. I'm putting you big screen all by yourself.
Far under 1%, and it's 100% going to be that way again. But again, you want that chance at the Amazon, and there is that ability to liquidate, like or to be accumulated as we get into things like mergers. There is plenty of opportunity, and we know that this technology is going to be what powers the next generation of business. Some mix of blockchain and AI is going to remove chaos and bring order and efficiency towards the next generation's global market. So hopefully we could be a part of what succeeds out of that. You were mentioning farming DEXs earlier and how you're looking for opportunities and that kind of stuff. It brings me back to this group that I saw that was pitching at a 9-figure valuation, and it actually raised had raised 8 figures at this. And what they were doing was delta neutral, earning 40% APR, like literally zero risk, earn 40% with your money. And what they were doing with this was on Terra. They were using primarily Mirror Protocol, and I think one other product that was built on Terra. And they were longing and shorting the same assets, constantly rebalancing it and farming the Mirror token.
Isn't that wonderful, dude?
And they have to give out this Mirror as a farm token to get liquidity.
Sure,
but if you can earn it for 40% with absolutely zero benefit to the platform, they're making no revenue out of this. Like, you just sell it to crap. And so when we're going to get into more about how like farming DEXs work, that's just what it always goes back down to me, because fundamentally the way DeFi started and the reason it's so inherently broken and what we're trying to fix with Astrovault is that Uniswap was 5 guys. And they're like, okay, we have a dream to make a version of Coinbase on chain. We're following this Satoshi's white paper where we want to make sure that you don't have to trust a big third-party company or else it's not actually decentralized. So we can make all these smart contracts, but there has to be a reason people bring liquidity. So we'll take the revenue that was going to Coinbase and we're going to give it to these liquidity providers. And oh my God, guys, it worked. We got liquidity. It worked. People can trade on chain, no custody. We're not Coinbase. This is great. So how are we going to make revenue? Because the revenue that Coinbase was getting, we just gave to the liquidity providers, but now we're not making money, but we built this. You know what? Let's launch a token.
Let's launch a fucking token. Let's give it up. Round of applause for Eric. Eric caught it right away, man. Let's launch a token. Carry on, sir.
Yeah. It's literally been the foundation and what's been replicated on everything in DeFi ever since. We don't have revenue, so we'll launch a token. And if that token is backing something that doesn't have revenue, then you're screwed. I mean, you need to not only have enough revenue to like justify the investment, but you need enough revenue to at least sustain the team. And I talk about what Astrovault does with...
Got to pay developers, man. We're building. What do you pay them with, Eric? What do you pay your guys with? Tell me now.
I haven't paid our guys in years.
Okay, well, let's
But
pretend this is the podcast. Let's entertain it for a minute here, dude. And the only reason Eric's not on big screen, guys, I'm not trying to hog the camera, but right now we're hosting on a free service. I'm like $25,000 into this app's development right now because devs aren't cheap, and I'm trying to save money anywhere I can. So we're actually hosting on a free platform, and at this time of night, it gets our bandwidth gets a little dodgy on that. So there we go. All right. But Eric, let's pretend that you are paying your guys. What are you going to pay them with? All right, Astrovault's going up, dude. This is coming. It's coming up. When are you launching?
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay, so you're going to have to eventually start paying these guys. What are you going to pay them with? Go ahead and pony up, dude. This is the Bitter Truth Show.
Gonna pay him with USDC.
Okay, why aren't you paying them with your token?
We'll do that too.
Okay, so you're paying them two. You're paying them two
The
different
seller
folks.
token with USDC. Basically, what's Osmosis' valuation? It's down to like only $100-something million.
God, man, it's buried.
I think FDV is like $500 million. They earn nothing in revenue. Same Uniswap model, except they have higher expenses because they have their own chain, validators, stakers, a larger team to sustain.
Yep.
I think actually now they earn like $25,000 a month from Skip, which is literally like MEV, extracting money from users, forcing liquidations. And that what? $300,000 in revenue in a year is supposed to sustain their team, their network stakers, their node operators, liquidity providers, like all these different things. Like that is unreasonable. We're actually making more than them right now, and we're not even live yet. Like we're live on the back end.
No, I ain't letting you off. How are you making this money? How are you making the money? Bitter truth, dude.
Yeah. So we're earning from the liquidity. Everyone's focused on real yield being volume divided by liquidity. So we need concentrated liquidity where you have now less liquidity but higher volume. But that doesn't work if you have also a chain and a team, because you're not actually making more revenue. You're just lowering your expenses in one of the three sections by a little bit. So that's people haven't figured out how to make money from their liquidity. And so they're trying all these weird experiments that aren't necessarily safe. And what we're doing is like, why aren't you earning money from your liquidity directly? Like we built a DEX that has clients. We provide for layer ones, and we host their liquidity, and we stake it the same way Coinbase. Oh, stake Atom to earn 6%, but they're earning 22%. We can do that. And now we're earning a ton of Atom. We're earning a ton of Arch, a ton of Jackal. Like that is actual revenue that justifies the valuation of our token. We could give it to our token holders. The trade fees now go to buy back and burn our token rather than just going to these LPs that you're begging to stay for just one more day. Maybe 14 days if you have a random mass lockup that has no actual significance. And like it's not sustainable. And so you need to have clients, you need to sell something, and you need to have a way to earn revenue. And somehow, like we've been saying this for a year and a half, somehow nobody else is like, that was better resources done it in this time. So we're launching tomorrow. We already have a couple $100 in protocol and liquidity, back with like 10, 15K in liquidity up until yesterday. And now we're bootstrapping tonight.
I'm gonna let you. I'm sorry, dude. I'm shaking because I know what you're doing. I get what you're doing. All right, you are doing basically what every goddamn chain validating on every other chain does. You are harvesting other chains. You are arbitraging. Tell me where I'm wrong. Because you're taking this liquidity, you're putting it out, putting it into work. Big fan. I love it. But you are extracting value off these other chains and you're bringing it to your DEX. Tell me where I'm wrong.
Where you say extracting.
I say that you're taking money off that chain and you're bringing it back to your own chain. You're providing a service. All right, you are. Everybody
again, Astrovault doesn't have its own chain. So yeah, we're bringing it to Archway, but we can absolutely deploy everywhere else. So we can keep it on the chains, but we're not actually taking money from the blockchain. We're actually taking money from the other stakers.
Yeah, you understand, though, dude, that you are basically arbitraging other investors. Say it. Go ahead. Admit it. It's cool. I get you.
Not arbitrage, but yes, 100%. We recognize, again, my background's in economic philosophy.
Yeah,
we recognize that this whole proof of stake, the concept of proof of stake, how it works technically is brilliant. The way staking rewards work is absolutely ridiculous. The whole idea of like, oh, stake to earn more. It's like, if I put my money in a savings account, I'm not outpacing the CPI, and I shouldn't be. That's super weird. But that's what we expect now as stakers, because we decentralize the perpetual expenditure of infrastructure provision as if that's the only thing that's important. That's not even the most important thing, or even close. So what we do is like, hey, you guys have the perpetual expense of liquidity provision. We'll retroactively solve that for you based on the model that you guys improperly set up, and we'll capitalize on that market because we figured out how to do it. So like Jackal was set up on Osmosis to be forcibly sold like $10,000 worth against Osmo every single month. Like that's how you maintain the LP position. That is a terrible, terrible service that they're receiving from Osmosis. And that's what Osmosis has to do to justify the valuation of the token for a little bit longer. And so we showcase them like, hey, we're just not going to do that. Pair against Atom, pair against Arch, pair against whatever you want. We're actually going to lower the selling pressure against your token because other people who are staking Jackal, now more of it's going towards liquidity, and it's literally going towards liquidity, but that's justified and owned by our token. So it's like, hey, we're not going to sell it. We're going to take it from other people that are selling it, and we're going to set you up with better services in ways that it's not just marketed dumped all the time.
Are you bashing Jackal here now, or are you bashing Osmo?
The exact opposite.
I know what you're going.
Jackal is brilliant. Yeah, I'm bashing Osmo. No, Jackal.
No. I've been bashing Osmo for a good long while now, dude. I'm cool with it, man.
Osmosis is brilliant. It's just a brilliant science fair project, and I'm making a business.
It's a brilliant way, but they're not making any goddamn money. So the tokens have 50 fucking cents, man. I'm sorry, 51. I'm sorry, but what you're doing is going out and harvesting. You're harvesting. Just say it, man. Come on. You're on the podcast. Nobody's watching. Just say you are harvesting other things. Might be clever. I'll give you that. It's clever. I think other people should really, really consider this because there are an abundance of very, very weak chains out here. There are an abundance of very, very weak tokens, including Atom. It is an incredibly weak token that is held up purely by sentiment because it doesn't do shit. But you're going out, you're harvesting, you're bringing that stuff back home and maintaining the value on your decks. Go ahead and say it. We all know.
I mean, yeah, we're spinning up the new wave of economic innovation. It's not just us. Every single application should have app-specific, non-auto compounding derivatives. If we're going to do proof of stake in this weird way and not actually reward the apps the way that they should be, which Archway is making strides towards, then every lending protocol, every like GameFi application, everybody should be earning from the liquidity that they attract, or else liquidity is a completely wasted metric. And as they finally figure that out, and as they do that, and they use our SDK to spin that up, well, they're going to need a way to change that for the native asset, and they have to tie into Astrovault because that's our moat. We built that infrastructure, and only we provide that.
And don't think I'm attacking you, dude. I'm not. I'm just saying this is the Bitter Truth show, and I want to be on the right side of the hustle. That's really where it comes down to. There are what tokens? I'm going to give you one more, and then we're gonna come back to what you were just talking about. I understand you have a meeting, dude. If we go long, we go long. Tough shit. What tokens are you initially launching with? And I'm gonna play my rim shot. Or no, what do I got? I'm gonna play the applause when you actually say a good one. What tokens are you initially launching with on your decks, and what is your intention with launching those tokens? Go ahead.
Archway. Oh, no,
yeah, I'm not playing that button, man. Go ahead. Archway's gonna bomb, dude. Carry on.
Archway, Atom, Jackal will be the primary layer ones.
I'll give you the Jackal because Jackal is a utility token. I'm a big fan. Carry on.
All right. Ethereum, USDC.
Keep it going. You're getting the applause.
That's it.
Ethereum, you're only launching with 5 damn tokens?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're showing the model. We're not even launching with our token yet. We're showing the model. We're showing that, hey, we're going to get $1 million in liquidity and barely any trade volume, and we're going to be making more money than Osmosis.
Dude, I'll give you the $1 million. All right? You have never convinced me that this is going to work, right? I will personally give you the $1 million.
Literally right now. We're making more money than Osmosis. We're not even live. We have a couple $100 in protocol-owned liquidity. It literally works. We've been talking about it forever, and nobody's seen it because everybody has been happy to copy the same broken models. We're seeing here in the chat, it's like Osmosis is brilliant. It's just it's a little bit outdated. It's like they push the tech to the next level. They push the user experience to the next level. It's still a science fair project, and somebody who succeeds is going to make a business out of it. And if they wanted to migrate to that, they would have to completely start over. And if you're ever going to start over, it's more efficient to start over with a new token, which is what we've done.
All right, I'm going to drop a different one on you because I see how this ends. I am, dude. I am the goddamn oracle on the mountain. I always use that metaphor when I'm talking about technical analysts and all these other bullshit people, but I am the goddamn oracle on the mountain. I've been in this business right here for 30 years, all right? I am the oracle on the mountain. Your model is good, and the fact that you're farming other chains, big fan, dude. I'm a big fan, man. I think it's brilliant. But it's going to come to a crashing halt because effectively everything in the cosmos is bleeding and dying step by step by step. And the reason it is because none of them are businesses. All right, they are parking lots. There are empty malls. There is nothing really of value here, or nothing that's terribly unique. The IBC as a whole, very unique. I think it's neat. All right. But it's a goddamn currency exchange. That's what it is. You've I can find one at any goddamn airport. There's nothing terribly unique here. You've been trying just over and over and over to try to find a use case for Atom. The whole we're gonna secure. You know what? The biggest threat to Atom are Atom validators. Cosmos validators are the biggest threat to Atom. I'm 100% right. If you put it down, I'm going to put it down to they just don't give a shit. And they don't, because over and over, the fact that you can have a vote, on a prop, and you don't even get every validator voting. The fuck does it matter with you? This is basically your job, is to vote on proposals and to decide how your money is going to be spent. But you don't even get votes from all of the validators. That's called apathy. Eric, are you familiar with the term apathy? Because
I never cared about it.
That is the cosmos. The cosmos is the Roman Empire right around 300 AD, and it wasn't going real good then. So,
Scott, it sounds like you're telling me that we shouldn't launch with more tokens.
No. I'm not telling you that. I'm asking you, how are you going to bridge to take your model, which I happen to agree with? I think it's neat. All right, because you're doing what I do. And if I'm doing it, it's pretty clear I believe in it. And you're doing it with your tokens. Big fan. I'm saying, how are you going to bridge and start farming other people? Because right now you're farming a dying corpse. I want to know how you're going to go to where the corpses with more liquidity live. How are you going to get out there?
Do you mean the clients that we have on Avalanche, or do you mean the clients that we have on Polygon, or do you mean the clients that we have elsewhere in the Cosmos or on Polkadot? Because
yes, I'm talking about all of these things.
We are servicing those clients, which we have. So yes, part of it comes with me getting a lot of consulting gigs, because luckily there are a few people that actually understand tokenomics in this space. But as we do, I solve their problems. I help them with liquidity plane. I'm like, hey, you know what? You could use some special custom built pools.
Are you going to
build special custom built pools?
Okay, where are these custom? How are you going to bridge the tokens? Who's your bridge?
Using a bunch, Axelar, Composable, and we'll see what else comes. IBC is fantastic. Other ecosystems are adopting IBC. Avalanche directly with IBC.
And that's what I'm getting at, man. What else are you gonna? Because I'm done investing in Cosmos tokens, dude. All right, I'm gonna harvest, but I'm getting out. All right, I'm getting out. There is no love here.
Actually, look at Archway.
Dude, you know what? Let's see where Archway is right now.
We cherry pick and chose Archway for a reason. If you want somebody that's going to connect everywhere, somebody that is business minded. I mean, Griffin was head of product at Consensus. They are the best run layer one team I've talked to. And they're the best connected to Ethereum and to these larger liquidity players. They're best friends with the guys that run and own MetaMask.
Yep.
They're very connected, and they're trying to position themselves to not just be another Cosmos chain, but to be their own ecosystem and hub for development. And they're doing a good job of it. And they actually commoditize their block spape. They know what they're selling.
You know what, dude? You've always came on here and done this. You've always name dropped. Stop fucking name dropping, dude. I ain't gonna have it. I'm gonna go real basic here, dude. Real basic. I bought $10 worth of Archway 2 weeks ago. That is currently worth $8. That is a 20% decline in the token price. 20%. Now I get it. It's crypto, man. That could be Tuesday. That could be
$23,000 in liquidity on the Osmosis pool. The liquidity opens tomorrow on Astrovault.
Okay, all right. So what are you telling me? All right, why don't you tell?
Literally,
what are you telling the audience?
Started by the liquidity pool that exists was started by people who got an airdrop and felt like spinning up their own pool because they're understandably frustrated that there wasn't liquidity anywhere.
Sure.
And I get it. Trust me. I've been begging and pleading and trying to make liquidity happen, and it's finally starting. It's going to be a process, but that's because it's not something that we're trying to do for a pump and dump. It's an ecosystem that we're trying to build over the next 5 to 10 years. That's resourced to do that.
And I love it, dude. I love it. Yeah. But you understand that my audience are crypto investors. And anybody who bought this thing 2 weeks ago is down 20% on it. Tell me how that's advantageous to them.
They literally could not have done that in any type of size because there was $4,000 in the liquidity pool. like 2 months ago.
It doesn't
Like,
matter, man. I'm telling you from
what-
the absolute very, very basic. I'm down 20% on this token.
You're down $2.
It doesn't matter the simple amount, man. There's a percentage that comes into effect. I understand all these things. I do. I get it, dude. Look, I'm here. I play around. All right, this is my thing. I have no real interest in Archway because Archway is not launching with anything unique. Nothing. There is nothing on Archway that is launching that is just going to, oh my God, how have we missed this the entire time? I see you spinning around, even though your video is choppy. What is launching, with the exception of Astrovault, which again, I'm on board. You don't want me as an ally, all right? Because in the crypto world, nobody wants the podcast talking about them because it's either going to be gushing or it's just going to be savage and me just firing arrows into their bullshit model over and over and over. Nobody wants me as an ally. I happen to like your decks. I happen to believe in what you're doing because you're doing what I'm doing. Yes, big fan. And if you'll do it on my behalf and save me the effort, I'll certainly take advantage of it. But Archway as a whole is going to bleed. Tell me, Eric, say it again. Tell me how much backing VC money that they've had pissed away into Archway. Tell me. Go ahead. Give me the number.
Somewhere around 30 mil.
Okay. So let's pretend that 30 million is a lot of money in crypto, which it actually is. But, sir, Eric, Sif Chain was once valued at $300 million.
And Terra at 40 billion.
And Terra at 40 billion. So just coming back and saying that they have VC money, just coming back and saying that they have VC money is suddenly going to give them relevance. All the VC money in the world isn't going to save a chain that launches with dick. And Archway launched with nothing. I was literally going to say, hey, you should come on and sponsor my show. Let me finish my thought here, dude. The balls it would take to sponsor a program that does nothing but attack you. I think
educational. I think
it would be educational and epic. What is it, Astrovault? Oh no, I'm actually investing in you, dude. You're not going to sponsor me. I think that would be the most authentic crypto content that you're ever going to see in the world. We're getting some questions in. I'm not the one touching them, but I happen to have a producer that is sending them to me via Discord. So Eric. Let me see. I saw that first one. Wait, so is Archway a DEX? This is coming from Mud23. Eric, take it away.
No, Archway is a general purpose layer 1 that's focused on economic sustainability. I've been their tokenomics lead the last 9 months. I'm now stepping away to focus more on Astrovault, staying on as in an advising capacity. But if you go to astrovault.io/white papers and check the economics paper, it's 50 pages of a whole bunch of philosophy. That's all me. My name's on it and everything. So very qualified to talk about it. It's recognizing that layer 1s aren't inherently valuable. They're only as valuable as the block space they're able to sell. And if you look at Ethereum, they commoditize their block space great. But Cosmos has better tech. There's a lot more block space to sell.
Sure.
So instead of commoditizing 100% of it, they commoditize 50%. Meanwhile, they give the other 50%, as well as part of inflation, to the developers who are bringing the value to the ecosystem. So you're saying what cool stuff is built on Archway? Bro, I've got a laundry list of dope things that are built on Archway right now.
Dope things. Don't say dope things, dude. You know what? You guys are Juno 2.0. I'm going on record, man. You're going to bomb. We're going to have this conversation a year from now whenever Archway 2.0 is launching. But Eric, look, you're welcome anytime, dude. We're going to have it. All right, another question from Into the Cosmos. I haven't watched Scott for a while. Last time I was watching was when we would see Scoot with Osmosis Lab open and had 300K in the platform. Since then, I see his tune has changed a lot. What the fuck? Should I answer this one, Eric, or should you answer this one?
Say it one more time. Sorry.
I haven't watched Scott for a while. Last time I was watching was when we would see Scoot with Osmosis Lab open and had 300K plus in the platform. Since then, I can see his tune has changed a lot. What the fuck? Do you want to answer this one or should I answer it?
You opened your eyes, looked up to the skies, and saw
liquidity. It didn't take much, dude.
Liquidity's poured out. I mean, my frustration in tokenomics is I can find these great science fair projects, and I'm not going to touch a token. If the product can succeed without the token succeeding, then what's the point of the token? Ripple could absolutely take over and replace Swift and be a $10+ trillion ecosystem. And that would work if the XRP token was worth less than 1 cent. So why would I touch it? I'd buy stock in Ripple, That's not stock and
Oh,
drifting.
dude, you're
If
talking
osmosis,
you're going 4D chess on this shit, dude. I happen to agree with you, but I it's a YouTube channel, man. All right, we can't get that deep into it.
if osmosis already got to over $1 billion in liquidity and already got to like $10+ million in daily volume, why hasn't that translated into success for them?
You know what? Do you want me to answer it now? We got about 4 minutes left on this show, and I will
Always.
take the entire time. I'm not going to do it, man. All right. Question from Cool Cat Crypto. Love the name, by the way. Safest place to stake Atom. Holy shit, is that a delicate question? Safest place to stake Atom.
LP'd on Astrovault.
There you go. I'm sorry. You know what? You never did answer my question, dude, and you and I have been talking. I got about $250,000. I'm ready to move over there, but I said I need an Atom USDC pool, but I need to exceed 19.7%. Can you exceed 19.7%?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the percent? Why don't you tell me now? You're launching tomorrow, dude. This is
I
your
don't know.
alpha.
You
don't know. It's your fucking DEX, dude. How can
It's
you not
based
know?
on our token. Our token's not launching for 2 months. So right now, the APR
Yes.
is 0. What you are going to get is if you come in liquidity provide right now is when we do an airdrop, we're airdropping to the early users of our platform, the early liquidity providers and traders. Once our token goes live, then we've got the APR that's there with it. What we're waiting on with the Atom USDC pool is it's actually going to be one of our first new type of hybrid pools, which I'm writing an entire academic paper on, super fancy, high tech and whatnot. But it's actually going to be more efficient to trade Ethereum and Bitcoin, more efficient to trade Atom to USDC than Binance or Coinbase.
You know what?
So we're waiting until we drop that pool.
You lost the shit out of me right there on that very statement. But I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to give you a chance to retort. You were asking me to drop on Atom USDC, which I know guaranteed I can get 19.7% for at this very second. I can get that. You're asking me to drop that in at 0 to get an airdrop. Do you understand what you're saying right here?
Yeah.
And you understand how I feel about airdrops.
I understand that you're familiar with what you're familiar with. And you understand
Tell me
that
why
I know
I'm
this
wrong,
stuff.
then, dude.
And you understand that I know this stuff way better than everybody who set up every protocol you've exploited.
No, I get it. But tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I should give you my money, $250,000. I'll tell you what. I got $500,000 I'm ready to go with. All right, tell me why I should move $500,000 to you at 0.
Because you're going to get a fat airdrop and high APR.
A fat airdrop and high pay APR.
If you brought in $500,000, so like $250,000 in Atom and $250,000 in USDC, our protocol is earning the staking rewards of $250,000 of Atom.
I know.
So over this next 2 months, we're actually earning money. Wherever you're putting it right now, I'm sure you're farming their token, and I'm sure you're farming it into the grave, and that's wonderful. By all means, do that. And when their APR is so low and they turn over again, then migrate it to whatever other AMM. And as you destroy every single AMM in your wake,
That's
we're
what I
still
do,
going to be
dude.
standing. Because please bring your Atom, bring your USDC, and sell AXV until the end of time. We're earning rewards from it. We're earning 100% of the trade fees to buy the token back, as everything else gets pummeled into the ground by like what Olympus DAO would do if they were deployed anywhere other than Uniswap. As you do all this delta neutral farming at 40% on Mirror, as you destroy every other governance token, we are the one left standing.
I'm having trouble with it, dude. I'll tell you what. Look, man, I'm not just gonna poo-poo it. All right, I want you back. You're going live tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Will you come on the show tomorrow after you go live?
No, I'm out of town tomorrow. I could Friday.
You say, okay, Friday. No. Oh, I can't do it on Friday. How about Saturday? Can you come back on Saturday?
Sounds great.
All right, because Saturday I'm going to go absolutely fucking Gordon Gecko on you, man, as soon as that thing goes live. All right, let me get back to the questions. I'm a terrible producer, folks. I'm sorry. Question, can Eric post the link to Astrovault? I know you can. We never answered Cool Cat Crypto. Safest place to stake Atom? I would not stake Atom. I understand that people are hungry for it, for the airdrops. I see no particular value in airdrops. I understand I'm taking a different way. I'm telling you not to take free money. I'm saying that you can do better by putting that Atom to work in many, many places. And if you're not familiar with those places, ThePodocasts, all right? We have a YouTube channel and everything. Question from Mud23. I get Archway's thesis, but I can't understand the token utility except for pools, which aren't sustainable. I happen to agree with that, Mud.
100%.
I agree with that. Great, dude. You have the
It's
smartest audience in the world right here in front of you, dude.
Yeah, it's based on on being able to sell block space. You have to get on-chain utility, and if you are getting on-chain utility, then 50% of all the gas that's spent is burnt. And so, if you're selling about the block space osmosis, or sorry, Ethereum is, then right now, like Archway would be net deflationary, even though you have the high staking rewards. And so it's a matter of getting things to come build. It's no longer like me versus you in the ecosystem. Even other dexes built on Archway, I want them to succeed because if they're getting transactions on chain, they're burning Arch, making my developer rewards more valuable. So it really is like transactions on chain burns the same way Ethereum does. It's just a little bit less because it's 50% instead of 100%, and way more TPS capability because it's just better tech.
But Eric, who is building, dude? Who do you have
I've
lined
been
up?
telling you,
guys keep going on and on about bullshit DAOs and bullshit dev tools and bullshit NFT platforms. It's dev tool. Tell me, who is actually a fucking business going up on Archway? Don't roll your eyes. I can see you.
You keep telling me bullshit NFT, bullshit DAO tooling. If you think that the entire purpose of NFTs and of DAO tooling, if you think all of that is a moot point, then sure. If you think there's a chance that business comes from it, which it's not just a chance, it's an inevitability. I'm telling you that the absolute best products going to market are building out on Archway. Like think of DAO but better, Stargaze but better, all in one application, properly selling and earning revenue from it. Like I'm telling you that the problems with Ethereum, where they're bypassing NFT royalties by doing custody, is completely fixed by Archway's infrastructure, because now you can set a custom premium on transfers and have that equal the royalties. You can separate all that through referrals as a service. I'm telling you that mempools and what they're doing with ArchX wallet will have the best in all of Web3 mobile experience, so that you can have people not even realize that they're using crypto and have it be like a regular gaming app. And some of the stuff I'm doing with groups on Polygon is amazing as well. Like honestly, if I name drop some of the groups I'm working with on Polygon, they're coming. They're bringing their liquidity.
No,
to
I'm not going to let you.
They're bringing their DAOs to
dude.
Archway.
You know what? And
so
in fact, I'm cutting you off
huge.
because this is, in fact, the podcast. Tell me the single app that's built on Archway that I can download that is super cool, I want to use, and I'll pay $8 a month to use. Name that app.
Astrovault.
You're just a trading platform, dude. Tell me something else, because
we're so much more than a trading platform, Scott.
I know, dude, but I told you this is going to be a hostile interview. You agreed to this. You know where my mindset is, dude. We're businesses or we're hobbies.
I'm good, but at the same time, if you act like, oh, we're just a trading platform, then you have no idea what we've actually built.
No, I do know what you're doing, but you're trying to we're trying to get this shit out to Web 2 people, not Web 3. Web 3 is a dying community. Everybody who comes in here and gets scalped isn't coming back. We need fun products, fun apps, fun games, everything.
Applications that already have 100 million plus downloads will be using Astrovault and have no idea.
Great.
That is what we are building.
Which one?
You told me not to name drop.
No, and I'll let you name drop this one.
I'm not allowed to. NDA.
No, because you're just trying to put it back on me. You're so full of shit, dude. Tell me which one.
I will tell you in a month and a half.
You got fucking guys. Everybody comes out using this shit. I have so much love for you, Eric. You know we need to do this more often, though, right? Because this is good shit, man. People aren't gonna they don't quite understand. No, they do understand. I think they understand fully, and they're saying, "What the fuck?" That's what they're saying right here. All right, dude. Look, we ran way over time. We do have more questions, guys. Look, man, I'm sorry. Question from Bella1, and tell Eric the producer says he and I need to talk. So I don't know what that's about, man. That's you and Bell. Go ahead and do a thing. Cool Cat Crypto, is AMP dead or is it still a thing? Eric, are you familiar with AMP?
I'm a longtime fan of the podcast. Of course I am.
Okay, but are you actually familiar with the product itself?
Yeah, the payrolls and whatnot.
It's
cool. Payrails or something. I'm working with a couple of restaurants that would absolutely love something like AMP to replace what they're stuck with Toast.
But they're never going to get it, man, because they're not going to release the SDK. Yes, in my humble opinion, AMP as a product is dead. AMP as a token, things never die. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Eric, even though we got choppy video. Eric, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, as long as you want. You're going full screen with really bad video because my app sucks right now. Talk it up, talk it out. Tell me about Astrovault, dude, because that's what's going live tomorrow, and people are very excited. I know I am. Take it away, dude.
Yeah, astrovault.io. With very little liquidity and little volume, we're going to showcase why we actually brought business to DeFi. And it's not just what we do for ourselves, it's what we enable, like lending protocols that are stuck with Oracle attacks and already have zero profit margins. If they now run with our model with app specific, non auto compounding staking derivatives, then they can finally earn revenue off of their liquidity. They can finally earn enough money to justify their teams as well as grow. They're not stuck in a chokehold of just hoping for speculation and hoping for one more VC trap. They can actually earn money. They can actually sustain themselves. And as they do that, and as more and more of these groups are already building out, they need the way to liquidate their non-auto compounding derivative for the native asset. That is the infrastructure we built out with Astrovault. We're not competing with them because we, instead of just us building a great lending platform, we'd rather 10 other great lending platforms build out, and all of them tie into Astrovault. We are the base layer of the new wave of decentralized finance. And it makes too much sense, guys. Please read the white paper, astrovault.io/white papers or /white paper, and come use it tomorrow.
All right, man. Look, you're going live tomorrow, dude. All right, I'm telling you right now, and I'm full screen, Eric. You're not even on, so we don't see your choppy, blocky video right now. And that's not a you thing, dude. That's a that's a me thing. I'm gonna move $250,000 onto you. All right, are you cool with accepting $250,000 onto me from my money? Are you cool accepting $250,000?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, when this goes south and it shits the bed, are you going to send me your address so I can show up at your house, knock on your door, and say, Eric, what the hell did you do to me? Are you okay with that?
It's DeFi. If it goes south, you still have your Atom and your USDC. Like, it's not about AXV. If somehow we were wrong, even though we're literally making money right now without a token, if somehow we're wrong and shit hit the fan, then you still have your money. There's no deposit. There is no centralized exchange hoping you could process your withdrawal. There is no random lockup like I know you experienced with SIFChain. You don't have to have the AXV token to liquidity provide.
Yeah.
We're giving you money for your service, but we make money. We're not giving out money for free. We make money on what we're incentivizing, and we do it pretty damn good.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, dude. You go live tomorrow. I'm going to move a whole shitload of money onto there. And if this goes south, I will endlessly, on my tiny little YouTube channel, just absolutely berate you. I will attack everything that I know about you and everybody else that I can find, because there is so much right now, currently in crypto, the only way that somebody can really be profitable, sadly, is to stay ahead of the scam. Now, I think you're honest. I think you're legit. I think it's all straight up, and I'm going to test it for myself long before I recommend it to anybody who watches anything that I put out on this camera and this microphone. I always go first into the breach. All right, but I'm not going to buy your DEX token. I'm not going to touch it. But everything else, man, we could have that conversation. Now, you said you were going to make me that pool, and until that pool shows up, dude, I'm not moving. But you said you can do it, right? Atom USDC, that's what I want to go into.
In about 2 weeks. Our first pool will be SArch with XArch, showcasing it. But yeah, we're publishing the paper next week.
I am so disappointed, man. You knew you were going live, and I was sitting there just dangling cash at you and told me to go fuck myself. Man, I got so little respect in this space, dude. All right. Anyway, guys, I'm going big screen, Eric. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed it tonight. This is not a... You're not going to see anything like this anywhere in YouTube. Go look, knock yourselves out. But you're talking about somebody who's a very heavy farmer, very heavy investor. It's actually a moneyed person. And I'm having to go at the person who I am about to go farm. That's Eric. The only reason I'm doing it is because I understand what they're doing. I agree with it because they're doing what I'm doing. So basically, you're telling me to attack myself. No, I'm kind of cool with it, and I'm gonna go ahead and do some moving into that. For those of you who subscribe to our Patreon channel, $3 a month. That's the lowest I can make it. That's where we're actually putting this. I don't need the money. It's not the point. The point is anybody should be. You should get a little bit of something for the effort. So we're going to be tracking every single thing I do on Archway, but it's only going to show up over on Patreon. It's not going to show up on YouTube because I can't compete with the hype guys. I just can't, man. We're not that kind of show. But everything that's going to be happening over there, the journey is going to be happening over on Patreon. And I hope you guys stick around. We're going to have Eric back on Saturday, because come Saturday we're going to be showing frames, showing Astrovault, and I'm going to be absolutely blasting everything that's on there. So if nothing else, it'll be entertaining, and Eric will have an opportunity to defend itself. This is where I would turn it over to my Belle, but I don't have her tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, until next time, please stay safe, and please be very, very smart with your money. Cheers. We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com, all one word, for all of our most